Sorry, I had to do that. Day 3 of the G1Climax30 has officially concluded with the second day of A-Block action, and it certainly was a surprising one, as we really wonder who truly will be the one. And so here we are again, once again, with another simple take. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good night. Konnichiwa to you all. My name is Noah Foster, and I'm just a simple man. And welcome once again to another G1 Climax 30 day simple take and day preview. Today we'll be reviewing day 3 action that completed this morning from Hokkaido, and we will preview day 4 action that will be also in Hokkaido, and it will be B block action. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Day 3 action, of course, consisted of the second day that the A block was all in participation here. But of course, we start off with a Young Lions single as they do their own little thing during this tour. And the score currently stands Ouya 1, Yoda 1, Gabriel Kidd 0. So Gabriel Kidd took on a very game Ouya Yamera here. Both these men had a very strong back and forth bout, as you would expect by the Young Lions, if nothing else. But yet I wonder, after the events that occurred with Toru Yano and Sonata, was that going to bite Ouya Yamera in the ass here? Now, necessarily, I don't think that came in play at all during this match. But I will say this, Gabriel Kidd, he had to try and be stronger. He had to push himself harder. And in the end, he actually did that because, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, Gabriel Kidd not only beats the American, he gets his first singles victory as a Young Lion with an interesting double arm finisher. Congratulations to Gabriel Kidd. Well done. Now the score stands. All three men are one apiece. So who will be the one out of these three to stand the strongest among the three? And what will mean for that person in the future, too, as I'm sure Hiroki Goto, Katsue Shibata, and Rocky Romero are watching, especially Gabriel Kidd, who I feel has more pressure on him being the open representative of LA Dojo. So good job, Kidd, and good luck going forward. All right. And as Chris Charlton basically put, echoes of Billy Robinson, a Brit using the double on suplex to gain victory in Japan. And that's not something you normally see. And then we go right into G1 Climax action. In our opening bout of the 5 matches today, it was a rematch of last year in the B block, as Jeff Cobb takes on Rampage Dragon, Shingo Takagi. And basically, these two, they were pretty even. And it was a strong start with, Shingo Takagi. After a while, though, these two just collided to each other. They both exchanged suplexes out of nowhere, got up, then they literally were headbutting each other. Good grief. Then we had a combination, one with a strike, one with a clothesline, one with a super kick, and a lariat ball that turned inside out Jeff Cobb. Shingo Takagi followed with no Shigami. It wasn't enough. And then after getting some momentum off the ropes twice, big pumping bomber, not enough. As Jeff Cobb bounces back in this match, he pulls off some impressive gut red suplexes, and then that moonsault out of nowhere. I don't know how a big man like that does that. Shingo Takagi, of course, counters with a satellite DDT later on. Elbows and forearms galore among these two, and then a sliding lariat follow-up by Shingo Takagi with Made in Japan. Not enough. And then we get another headbutt straight to the heart. Damn. But Shingo Takagi somehow, it's like, clear. He got rehabilitated and got a snap suplex pulled off. But then, out of nowhere, Jeff Cobb, he traps him in Tour of the Islands, and Jeff Cobb wins. So Jeff Cobb picks up his first 2 points now in the G1, and literally Shingo Takagi, 2 matches in a row, he's still at 0. Rather interesting setup when you think about the year that Shingo Takagi has had, being one of the most dominant wrestlers on Japan Pro Wrestling and a must-see and a former never-weight champion. And right now, he's really fighting from under. What does Shingo Takagi need to do to bounce back? And can he bounce back as early as this Sunday when A-Block action resumes? We'll have to wait and see. But I really enjoyed this match. Following that, we go into Okada versus Yujiro. And these two basically, there wasn't really a lot, I would say, here in this match. Yujiro had pretty much most of the control here, kept it at his pace, but Okada, in the end, no Rainmaker, no over-the-top antics, not even a missile dropkick. I really do wonder what is going on with Okada. It's not like he's bringing his full self into this, which is really weird to think about. Anyway, some solid biting, and then a running basement drop kick all the way from the outside of the ring up the entranceway by Yujiro. Very slow pace. At one point, he goes for pimp juice. That gets countered. Okada goes for the clutch the first time. That gets countered. And then we get a short arm lariat, though. Not Rainmaker, but I guess that's something. And in the end, he does lock in the Cobra Clutch, wins once again via submission. Yujiro remains goose egg. Okada gets his first 2 points in the G1. I don't know about y'all, but considering who Okada's got to go up against, including but not limited to Jay White, Minoru Suzuki, Will Ospreay, Tomohiro Ishii, and Shingo Takagi, he's going to have to really bring out more if he wants to make it through this G1. It felt like, you know, barely he got the win here. And maybe it felt like he didn't have to put so much effort so much Yujiro, but I still would take every opponent just as serious. I don't know, but something just doesn't seem right about Okada's mindset and his wrestling lately. Anyway, moving on from there, we go into our cleaning and disinfectant break, and of course, we get to my favorite music. I wish that I had more music like that, but I don't know the name of the track. But I do like the fact that my friends in my NJPW discussions group on Twitter, they literally found like a 10-second clip of that music, and I was just having fun with it, listening to it as well. How do you all like this music? Let me know. It's a good wake-up song, actually, too, when I think about it. And shout out to Reese Kelly Glenn for sharing that, and Mini Keys for creating that. Anyway, as we come back from clean intermission, we got the match I was looking forward to, the Suzuki-Gun Civil War. Holy hell. It was the Holy Emperor, Taiji, taking on the King, Hasaninare, and the current Never Openweight champion, Minoru Suzuki. And this match started exactly how I thought it would go. An all-out physical war. As soon as we get Hasaninare, Suzuki goes straight into Taiji, and the fight is on. Chokes to chairs, and honestly, I'm surprised this one did not get thrown out. It went all over the place. Weapons galore. In the end, there was an all-out fight, and then Taiji does get the advantage using the mic stand. Things got really serious later on because you know what I'm about to say. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. The pants come off! Oh, now we're in gear 2. Now we're really getting a fight. The two exchange forearms for Kawada kicks, and it looks like either man can knock each other out. But of course, the King, you listen, that forearm strike, it knocked Taiji out where he freaking stood. Taiji at one point literally saying, "You say you were going to kill me? I'll show you what a killing looks like." It feels like Taiji's really trying to ascend past Minoru Suzuki here. He really was putting everything into this match. This has been a hell of a year for Taiji, all right? Following this, there's kicks and strikes galore by both men, and then another high kick that drops the King where he stands. He goes for an axe bomb, gets countered. Kings get back up, jumping high kick drops him, and then Taiji really gets the match into his favor with that ridiculous backdrop. Following that, we get Kamagure, and then Minoru Suzuki out of nowhere, he gets that sleeper hold snapped in, goes for the Gotch style pile driver. Oh boy. Taiji somehow counters it into a backdrop. And then as Minoru Suzuki once again snap around with the sleeper, goes for the Gotch. Taiji counters with the freaking Black Mephisto setup. And ladies and gentlemen, Taiji has defeated Minoru Suzuki fair and square, clean, in the middle of the ring. I cannot believe it, but I'm so happy. All hail the Holy Emperor. I can only imagine, basically. Okay, enough of that. I can only imagine right now how happy Miho Abe was watching from afar, and I'm sure she misses her muse. And literally, this was my biggest moment of the G1. Times are seriously changing, so honestly, I'm just bloody shocked. And again, that iron finger, it will always speak to Taiji, it seems. Oh, by the way, my bad, it's Sapporo. I don't know why I thought it was Hokkaido. Maybe they're in the same places. I gotta look at my geography. Really good match, great war. Please go watch it. I have to imagine this means that Taiji's going to challenge the King for the Never Openweight title. He definitely has obligation to. And I can only imagine how furious, though you wonder maybe there's a hint of happiness within him too, that Minoru Suzuki is. Because again, at one point in this match, he was just happy and smiling. And you really wonder, does he want somebody in Suzuki-gun to surpass him? And is Taiji the guy that might do that? What a wild match and ending. Good lord. And moving on from there, we go into another great fast forward heavy duty encounter as the Stone Pit. Oh, my bad. The score is by Minoru Suzuki. He now only has 2 points. Taiji, he's a block leader right now with 4 points as well. So kudos to him. Now we go into Tomohiro Hiji versus Will Ospreay, an all-out exchange, warfare, and a brawl. And honestly, this was very even. Ospreay showing off all his speed and high antics, really trying to get the better of the Stone Pit Bull, literally training blow for blow from at one point as Ishii just eats them. He wants more, and Ishii, of course, counters back and nearly knocks out Will Ospreay. Literally, it looks like Tomohiro Ishii, he was getting the better of Will Ospreay as the match progressed. But in the end, it looks like that Will Ospreay, he's really garnered a lot of momentum since his time off and kind of changed his style. Almost you would think heelish. Because in the end, Hito Tanashi, which is like a bastard driver partially, he does that on Tomohiro Ishii. My God. And literally sets up for the Stormbreaker, finally hits the Stormbreaker, and he does pin Tomohiro Ishii at a very good match. Milano praises Will Ospreay, calls him a superstar as well. Will Ospreay right now, he's good. He's perfect. He's got 4 points. Really strong start for his G1. I don't think he'll be the one, and I really thought this was a great match, but I hope to see more from Tomohiro Ishii going forward, and may he get some points too. Which leads us into our main event, a G1 Climax finale rematch from last year as the Switchblade, Jay White. He took on Golden Star, Kota Ibushi. And literally, Jay White, he just had this match all into his favor, it seems. Literally playing as the crowd could not verbally react. They can only clap, but he was like, come on, speak up, say it. Ibushi, Ibushi. Literally grabbing the mic, literally mocking the crowd. He was all in his zone. As the match did progress, though, both these men had multiple exchanges, but eventually Kota, he reached that fluke state, oh boy, and literally knocked out Jay White where he stood. And Jay White, he countered that, of course, got Kiwi Crusher. We also got freaking Bastard Driver, God. And Gato's presence, of course, is always a factor because that is always a distraction. But what's interesting here is this match, it felt long, but it felt really paced and slow. And in the end, Kota Ibushi, he wanted to be God, but Jay says this is his J1, not the G1 for everybody else. And once again, folks, what Jay says, he backs up. Jay White beats Kota Ibushi fair and square and clean in the middle of the ring, and convincingly. I was really surprised by this. I mean, I wasn't like, I didn't count out the fact that Jay White could win this, but still, this was a really weird main event. But bottom line is this. Jay White, he's perfect. He's got 4 points, and so far for Kota's pursuit of becoming above his own gods, rough bump as he stays at 2 points. And now it's 1-1 for Ibushi. What a weird day for G1 Climax action as Jay White, of course, he concludes the evening, talks about how all the people are robots, how they just react to him when he claps, as he was constantly clapping and they clapped as he clapped. And he says, you guys are just breathing with the Switchblade in my new era. I imagine this is a different era than the previous one as well, since he is now called King Switch. Just saying. Really great action overall. Of course, I enjoy the G1 as always, and I look forward to day 4, which occurs tomorrow. And I must say, I really wonder how Kota Ibushi's knee is, because his knee took a blunt of punishment. And it looks like literally around the 15-minute mark, it really showed, and that might have really been the difference maker. But again, if Kota Ibushi could channel more of that superhuman fluke power and state that he goes into, I feel like he really could win this for a long way. I mean, very effective Boomerang last ride during that. But again, the Switchblade prevails. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the scores so far for A block. Kota Ibushi stands at 2, Jeff Cobb at 2, Kazuchika Okada at 2, Tomohiro Ishii 0, damn it. Will Ospreay 4, Shingo Takagi 0, Minoru Suzuki at 2, Taiji with 4. And I'm telling you right now, folks, I'm standing with it as I told you in my very beginning. Taiji's my pick to win the A block. Jay White at 4 and Yujiro Takahashi 0. So right now we have 3 block leaders as they now rest up from Sapporo to prepare for night 5. Let's go ahead now and preview night 4, which will be B block action day 2, also emanating from Sapporo. And in case you're wondering, that will be tomorrow morning, I believe, at the same time. Let me just go ahead and bring that up here for you. That's the Japanese version. Again, I think there's no language barrier. I just can't read Japanese. Yep, same time tomorrow. We get B block action, 2:30 a.m. Pacific time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 a.m. British Standard Time. That's September 24th, folks. That come to you today, September 23rd, Wednesday, 10:51 a.m. Let's go ahead and briefly look at these matches. So we have first off, of course, our Young Lions opener singles. Both men stand at one. Time to break the record. It's Yota Tsuji versus Yuya Mero. 1 fall, 50-minute time limit. We have overall single score 8, 6, and 21 in favor of Tsuji. Can Uya Yamera overcome Tsuji here and take the lead in this tour, or will Baby Yoda continue his momentum and lead this tour? I don't know about you, but right now I see a much more driven force and promise and prevailment probably with Yota Tsuji. So I'm going to go with Yota Tsuji on this one. Then we go into G1 Climax block action as Hiroki Goto takes on Sanada. Their overall singles record is 2-1 in Sanada's favor. G1 record, though, they're tied 1 win apiece. Right now, both these men, they seriously need a win. They both sit at 0. And again, as I look at what happened with Sanada, this is going to be an all-out serious contest. Hiroki Goto is going to bring a lot of anger, I'm sure. But Sanada, he's going to fight through emotion. And I feel like this is when Sanada really starts to come back and will probably beat him with the Skull End. So my pick for this match is definitely Cold Skull Sanada. Come on, man. You're my B block pick. Get it right. Moving on from there. Oh, Lord. Our next match, the Ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi. He takes on Toru Yano. Lord help us. Literally, overall singles record is 15-3-2 with Tanahashi, but G1 record is 4-1-2 in Tanahashi. You would think just off those statistics, Tanahashi, he has a good chance of winning. But again, you're in the ring with probably the most dangerous, unpredictable wrestler in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Toru Yano, and it seems to really be Toru Yano's year. And I sense that the Ace, I don't know about this. Oy vey. I mean, 2 minutes, 47 seconds in 2015 New Japan Cup, okay? And I'm sure Tanahashi will never live that down. And I'm sure he doesn't want something to repeat like this as well. So, I am actually going to go with the Ace picking up the win on this one and hopefully stopping this madness that is the Yano G1. I can't believe this is freaking happening. This is absolutely ridiculous. All right? Good grief. Someone needs to stop Yano. Slow him down. Put him in his place. Please and thank you. Okay, now that I got my thing out there, you can tell how annoyed I was with the result. Okay, so moving on from there, we go into another first-time NJPW singles meeting as Juice Robinson, the flamboyant Freddie Mercury, takes on All Fangs Kenta. Both these men right now have 1 victory, so one of these men is going to eat a fall. This is going to be interesting considering Juice Robinson's momentum and energy so far. He seems really into this, but Kenta right now, he's a guy that will do whatever it takes to win and definitely seems to be right now, things might be favoring him. So, do you go with the winner of the NJ Cup USA or do you go with the person that just came back from injury that really has been like probably everyone's highlight so far of the G1 from an energy standpoint? This one's a little tricky to me, but I consider this. Juice Robinson might be involved in NJPW strong down the road. You imagine a win over Kenta might mean he might be able to challenge for that right certificate. But then Kenta, he can continue his momentum in this G1 as well as he prepares for John Moxley's challenge for the IWGP United States Championship. But I do wonder, is there one more defense of that contract to come? And could this match define it? And could it happen over in Japan? And it is for that reason that I believe I'm going to go with, this is a tough one. I'm just going to say right now that Juice Robinson surprises us. This G1 has really been a number of surprising outcomes, and I definitely would not count out Juice Robinson here. I'm going to say Juice Robinson actually beats Kenta and gives himself an opportunity towards challenging for that right certificate. Again, it's their first time ever encounter. So who do you really go with? The guy that seems to have more momentum, the guy that's been wrestling longer this year, or the guy that just came back? I'm going with Juice Robinson. All right. So moving on from there, we go into Yoshihashi versus Evil. And these two have a 2-1 singles record in Evil's favor, G1 record 1-1. But so far, the G1 has not been treating Evil well. And I'm happy about that. Even with Togo in his corner. Yoshihashi very determined, having the year of his life again after 12 years, obtaining gold, which happens to be one piece of gold that Evil formerly held in a past life. How ironic. With that being said, Yoshihashi and Evil, they both are scoreless. So one person's got to win here. Now, I think about Evil and I think about Dick Togo, and the spoiler can work in favor this time. But then again, Yoshihashi, he's very driven. He's no Zack Sabre Jr., and he will punch you in the face. And we also know he won't stay down. And he had a really great performance in Juice Robinson in the opener. But with that being said, looking at the overall big picture of the G1 this year, I'm going to say that unfortunately, Evil gets his first 2 points here, by hook or by crook. Which leads us into our main event as the double champion, leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito, takes on Zack Sabre Jr. Both these men currently have one victory. They stand at 2 points. Overall singles record is 2-2. G1 record is 1-1. It's about as 50-50 as you can get. With the incredible win out of nowhere that Zack Sabre Jr. got over Evil, you gotta imagine the crowd's gonna really favor him in this match as well. But this is also Tetsuya Naito, who doesn't care, but is always a crowd bringer when it comes to reaction. And right now, he is the double champion. And Zack Sabre Jr., he wrecked Naito's chances of making it in the final during G1 2018. And I'm sure he would love an opportunity to go after that double goal. But also, he wants to make these IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions bigger. He wants to elevate the tag team division. So I really wonder where his focus is at as well, considering he even talked about eventually he might face his own partner in the finals. Imagine that. And also looking for the final. Tag team with Zack Sabre Jr. But I've been jabbing on enough, and I'm just going to say this. It's interesting considering both these men, they right now have 2 points. Both these men are probably favorites that you would think would win this thing. Zack Sabre Jr. being a former New Japan Cup winner, Tetsuya Naito being a former G1 winner. Oh, man. And we got to think about people that challenge Tetsuya Naito for the gold on the way to Wrestle Kingdom. At least one person. But would I give that to Zack Sabre Jr. this soon in the G1 run? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say right now the momentum favors the double champ and say Tetsuya Naito, he picks up his next win here and goes to 4 points. And with that being said, that's all to come as we wait for G1 Climax 30 to continue tomorrow with Day 4 action, and we continue down this road of who will be the one. I don't know about you, but I still stand by my picks for each block. And as far as my overall winner, I'm just going to save that till the very end and see if my premonition comes true. Stay tuned. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this simple take on G1 Climax action, the Day 3 takeaway, and the Day 4 preview. And I'll see you all, of course, once again tomorrow after Day 4 concludes. If you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of ... wrestling. I got wrestling shirts from so many promotions underneath the sun. You might see a different wrestling shirt in that mirror every day. I'll see what I can do. I gotta get me more New Japan for wrestling shirts to get them on flash sale. Anyway, Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation, Adam Foster 1916. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/user/Noah Foster210 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my ATW family on Twitter. Please keep following this YouTube channel for constant coverage of the G1 Climax 30, predictions, previews, and takeaways, as well as my overall week review of AEW for my series AEW Spark, and so much more. You can find all the content on the playlists on the homepage, including some gaming. Stay tuned, I'll be playing Crash Bandicoot 4 when it comes out. You'll just see me game, you won't hear any rage, won't be no voice, but hey, it might give you some tips and it might show you what's coming in advance. As always, I also am about to be in my 2-year anniversary as a YouTuber, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for a live Silver Chat also this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as predictions in general, style, for Clash of Champions with Team No DQ. As always, you want to know what I'm about, it's in the description down below, but you know what I do. Support No DQ, support WrestleJoy, Pro Wrestling Discussions, Team All Elite, support Pro Wrestling at the end of the day, folks. That's why we're all here. And as always, I'd like to close, support your wrestling outlets, but big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, authentic, unscripted, unrestricted wrestling community together. Simple as that. I was right, it is Hokkaido. I guess Hokkaido's in Sapporo. Anyway, until next time, thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell, know next video goes on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, help me keep going this channel. Shout out to all 161 of you that's been with me this fun YouTuber creator's journey. It's not laying up anytime soon. With that being said, I hope you all take care, enjoy live. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families. Enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. Find some promotion, some person, make a friend or an enemy out of it too. I don't judge you. And just find something that connects with you. Stay positive. We'll get through this together. Be strong. And until next time, I just hope you all have a wonderful day. Gokigenyo. Sayonara.